Now this chapter, chapter 5, has mostly, if not all, been about finding the zeros of a parabola. That means when y equals 0, okay, where is it on the x-axis? In other words, where does this parabola cross the x-axis? Right here and right here. Now, why would you want to know that? Well, who cares? Right now is because we can do it. That's why we learn. I'm going to do this because I can. There's a lot of stuff in life that's like that. Now, let's reverse engineer this thing. What equation came up with that parabola? Well, let's see. If that was a 0, it means that it was something like this. So here's my equation, and it was going to be x plus 4 times x minus 2. How do I know that? Well, this number right here, plugged in for that x, makes this thing equal to 0. That's what we call it. I mean, that's one of the reasons we call it a 0. Same thing here. This number 2 plugged in for that x right there would make it a 0. That's why I know that's what the equation looks like. And then if we multiply this thing out, now we're going to multiply everything times everything like this. And we end up with y equals x squared, let's see, minus 2x plus 4x minus 8. And I'm going to combine those like terms right there. And I'm going to write this up here. So that is going to be y equals x squared plus 2x minus 8. That's our final equation. So basically what we're doing in this chapter is we're going, I just went backwards, okay? So now we're going to figure out if we had an equation that looks like this, how could we get to here? How can we get to here? If we have an equation that looks like this, how can we get to where does it cross the y or the x-axis? So that's what we're going to do. Let me go to the next slide and I'll do one. So that's just like an overview of what we're trying to do. Let's start with this. You know, we've got 3 different ways. We can factor, we can complete the square, or use quadratic formula. So in this video, I'm just going to do factoring. And let's see. Oh, we're going to do this. That diamond problem. Don't forget, multiply this times this, you get negative 40x squared. And then we take this middle term and we put it down here like this, negative 6x. 2 numbers that multiply together to give me negative 40x squared, but if I add them together, I get negative 6. 4 times 10 is 40. If I make one of them negative. So this will work, I think. So we're going to do negative 10x times 4x gives me negative 40x squared. And if I add them, I get negative 6. Okay, there we go. And then we've got this box. It looks like this. We got 2x squared there, negative 20 over there. We've got negative 10x, and we're going to get, what's the other one? Oh, 4x, like that. Okay, you put those there. That's why we found those out, and we got this one and this one. That's how we set that up. So we're going to do this. I think I'm going to put a 2x here and an x here. Okay, I'm going to put a 4 here and then a 5 there. So let me check. What does this look like? 2 times x. There we go. 2x squared. 4 times x. 4x. 4 times 5 is 20. We got to get a negative in there somehow. And then 2 times 5 is 10. I think the negative's right there. So let me change that. and there it is. Yes. So we're going to say this is positive over here. Okay, there you go. So we've got this situation. Y equals 2x plus 4 and x minus 5. Where do those make this thing equal to 0? Okay, well if I plug, you know what, I can just think about this. If I plug in a negative 2 plus 4, that whole thing is going to end up being 0. So if I make the x negative 2, x equals negative 2. Yeah, that would work. And then what about this? What if I made this one equal to 5, positive 5 minus 5? I only have to get one of those things equal to 0 because the zero product property says that if you get one thing equal to 0 and you're multiplying, the whole thing is 0. So, but I want to get the two answers anyway. You know why? Because I can. So, there it is. That's a big thing about math. I kind of like that. Because I can. That's why I do it. Okay, negative 2 and positive 5 are your zeros. Okay, those are the two places that it crosses the x-axis. Okay, hope that helps. I'm going to make another video for completing the square, but this one is done.